say, when I first heard about this, I got the door hanger and everything, I was loaded for bear. I mean, I was going to come in here and find out what's going on. It's been explained. We've been given facts. We've been given what we need to do. This is no different than doing a repair on my home. I do things to maintain my home and keep it safe. I put in a generator a year ago because of hurricanes. Who knew I needed it in my stomach? You know, it's not easy to spend more money, but it's a lot harder to get money to repair something. When I paid off my house, my nice banker told me, I suggested you have a line of credit for repairs at a low interest rate so that you can do those repairs and not be stressed out, especially like when I'm going to retire. So I appreciate all the work that's been done. Thanks for the suits for being here. And I feel better about it now. Thank you. And I've been in this business for 25 years.
Carl Secocious. Again, thank you all for thank you all for doing what you do. Very much appreciate it. I know it's difficult. As far as Tom, you said that you're being transparent. I don't know if I disagree or agree, but maybe transparent means you can't see things because nobody could read what was up on the screen. I would say yes, in that way it was transparent. And there's a simple solution to that. Put the PowerPoint out before the meeting so we can have it. If we want to print it out, if we want to bring it up on our phone, we will be able to follow along. Going after the meeting is too late. That's not good communication. I asked for better communication in January, and we still don't see meeting minutes in January. So I don't know what's going on there. What is the time limit that you have to put out meeting minutes?
I'll just say that we were in somewhat of a transitional period on some administrative stuff. They've all been prepared, and are on the agenda for consideration.
Is there not a legal requirement on that?
There's not a legal requirement that you approve the meeting minutes within 30 days. And sometimes there are comments from board members or things along those lines, and we bring the minutes back at the following meeting for approval.
I think Donald Trump for it. It's disgraceful.
It is.
Okay.
I'll just add that all of the meetings are recorded, and we regularly provide those recordings to a number of residents who request them, if that's helpful.
They're out there.
Okay, and what I'm hearing here today is very much in the box. We need money, we got to do this stuff, absolutely. So let's go raise more money and do it. Do we look at other out-of-the-box options? Right now there's a, what is that thing called? Infrastructure bill in Congress that is supposed to be for work, roads, and this sounds like infrastructure to me. Is the board looking into that to be prepared to take advantage of this?
Have you looked at what's in that bill and what it's going to cover?
I'm asking Tim, is this something that was looked into?
It was looked into, so was working with the Texas Water Development Board.
Good to hear. Second question is, the River Plantation Creek, my understanding was there was a grant for that. Is that no longer the case?
FEMA has agreed to cover $250,000 of whatever the repairs are. Anything over and above that, we have to go back to them and hope they will cover more. But like I said, in 2019, the estimate was $319,000.
But you are going back to FEMA.
Once we start the repairs, yes.
And have you looked at ways to offset the cost of the park? Like, could be sports groups, soccer groups maintaining a certain part of it, so we offset the
Until we own it, we haven't looked at anything yet, other than here's what we, contingency plan of what we would like to see once we do have ownership.
Okay. And how much is maintenance cost on it now?
It's $1,100 a month,
Well,
$1,200 a month.
very cheap. Okay, and, yep, I think that's all I have.
Okay, Leslie Glover, 615. Leslie Glover. Okay. Gary Reynolds.
Hi, Gary Reynolds. I'm actually the precinct chairman, election judge for this precinct, so, Jack, thank you for speaking to that. Quick question to Jack. Are you going to be able to publish your report where we can see it?
I gave it a copy of, a rough copy of my estimates to the board.
To the board. Board, are you going to publish that? Can you publish that report, please? Board?
Yes, we will.
Thank you. Okay, great. That covers most of what I had to say here. I will say that I had a long 2-hour talk with Jack before I got here. I had a long talk with Preston Humphreys up there in East Plantation. They have 40%, not 50%, of the sewage treatment plant. They've done a ton of repairs. According to Preston, okay, either Preston's a liar or there's a bunch of repairs that's been done, okay? So I heard you say nothing's been done.
I didn't say nothing. I said 698,000 out of 1.2 million.
According to Jack, there was $3 million in the coffers just a couple of years ago. Is that
Correct.
true? So there's been a bunch of stuff done. A lot more than we say. We just went through a 500-year water event. We just went through Harvey. And a lot of the subsidence is caused by that storm. Once a lot of that's fixed, it's fixed. It's not like an ongoing thing. We're going to have sewer eruptions sometimes. I'm really sorry it happened in your yard and not mine. But sometimes stuff like that happens. It just does. I got taken to court on a violation of the Texas Clear Water Act by my neighbor one time because some of my effluent went on his property when I was doing sewage repair on my septic system. So what? It happens. Okay? So I appreciate what the board is doing here. Okay? I'm from East Plantation, and like we're over there scratching our heads going, what the heck? We've done all these repairs. We've done a bunch of repairs on the sewage treatment plant here recently. We've relined a bunch of pipes here recently, according to them. A lot of these things have been done already, and there was already a plan in place for this routine maintenance that's going to happen anyway. So anyway, I would please ask us to just double clutch here before we just rip on $25 million, $100,000, whatever, that's going to cost $56 million to pay back. There's probably another plan. Let's take a look at it before we go on Prop A. As far as Prop B goes, I'm looking at some of the people that are hanging out down at Gwen Ruska Park going, do we really want 72 acres of this? So I would just ask everybody to think about what that's going to draw in our community. So I love you all, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Julie, for what you do. I really do appreciate it. It's a tough job. It's cheap. Who would do this? What are you getting, $7,200 a year for this? Really? Why would you sign up for this? Thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
No, we don't get $7,200. We get $100 a meeting.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, East Plantation gets $600 a meeting. We get $100.
Wow.
Second of all, has anybody been to any of the East Plantation meetings? There are Tuesdays at 2:30 or Wednesdays at 2:30. Wednesdays at 2:30, and they last 5 minutes because they've already discussed everything prior to the meeting. So anyway, so those of you that live in East Plantation ought to attend one of their meetings. So anyway, who's next?
Susan Bacon.
Susan Bacon.
I think I can talk about that. Most of my questions have already been answered. The only question I have for you is how much longer is this lawsuit going to go on? How long is it going to take us to buy
So the answer is that it's slightly indeterminate. We have we're trying to effectuate a settlement, which we can't talk about in public, tell you that. When it's over with, I'll happy to answer any question anyone has that I can answer. But it's sort of indeterminate. We're working through those processes. I'd say we're probably 2 to 3 months at a minimum from having that wrapped up. We might be able to do it a little bit sooner, but a lot of it's going to be contingent on how it's paid for. So it's a very serious issue. If funds are not available to the district, that complicates the solution. And that obviously would delay it.
Leland Carl?
I have a question. Does any of this include the waterway in front of the neighborhood where the bridge is? And all the trees that are falling into that? I didn't see any of that included in the pictures.
My understanding is that Stewart Creek is not owned by or maintained by the River Plantations Mud District. We would work closely with the county to try and get those repairs done. We're already in contact with them about other stuff in the district for repairs such as that. So that is the process in which getting something like that has to go through.
Any idea how long that's intended to take? Because there's no way water's flowing through that.
That is a county issue that we're working through. That there's no way to even give you a timeline. I apologize.
Second question. On the Charleston purchase, will it include the thing that they used to call a pool over by the clubhouse that is now a mosquito infestation? That I don't see anything being done to maintain. I don't want to maintain the pool, I'm not asking for that, but it is a cesspool right now, and I feel like it's just adding to mosquitoes, and no one knows who's responsible for it. I keep asking, and I'm not getting answers.
Sure. So that part of it's all of Charleston that's being required. It's through a condemnation case, right? So it includes the pool across from the clubhouse. That's on the property that the district has possession of, and that we're attempting to complete the purchase. That's the best way I can say it. So if we're successful, and I hope we will be, we should be, it will include that area. And then it's up to the board, as your spokespeople, to decide what to do with it, right? You give us the input on that, and the board decides what to do once you own it.
My concern is who's maintaining it now.
It was my understanding it was empty. Is it from rainwater that's standing?
I would
or-
imagine so, but there's water at the bottom of it, and I cannot imagine mosquitoes that it is, we
Then I would suggest you call the mud office
Yeah, I know.
tomorrow.
And they
Right.
say it's not theirs.
They can- okay.
I would like for someone to.
I'll have someone look at it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Frankie on 617 River Plantation Drive.
I did find this to be very helpful, so I do appreciate everyone who's come to enlighten us. My question is, what about the aesthetics? I'm relatively new to the neighborhood, and it's just, you know, the drainage ditches are unsightly, the road is corrosive. Are the aesthetics going to be improved with this spending?
So you
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, I look at the drainage, I've lived all over the country, I've never seen drainage ditches look like this,
well,
ever.
that's one.
And that's what I'm wondering, are the aesthetics in the neighborhood going to be improved upon with spending $25 million? Are we going to see it? Is it going to be a physical?
Our main concern will be functionality, but obviously the channels will look a lot better once we're done with them because they will be fixed appropriately. So you won't see broken pieces of concrete, heavy sedimentation at the bottom of them and things like that.
And we're starting to have mud ditches in front of our houses?
Yes, that is something that we're also working with the county on because they maintain the right of way and things like that. So
that works.
but they'll continue to be earthen. That is just part of the drainage system within the district.
I just want to throw in the $2 million park fund. Were you here when we had 8-foot weeds on Charleston?
I would.
Christine Cruz.
Christy Cruz?
Okay. Karina Rivera.